Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition. It's a Sunday night edition of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, where you call us with your opinions on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. It's 412-575-2600. You can tweet us tonight at KD taking your calls until 11 o'clock. And yes, New England has tied the Steelers for most Super Bowls. This is a run that, interestingly enough, started about 17 years ago when the Rams took on the Patriots in the first of these Super Bowls, 9 of them by New England in the course of 17 years. Think about that sort of dominance. And it was New England that came out with a win. And the next thing you know, 6 of them later. 6 was tonight against those same Rams, different kind of Rams, different city Rams, but the same organization. And New England has done it, and they did it with one big drive when they needed it the most. And at that point in time, Tom Brady was what you would expect him to be. Right on the money. Julian Edelman, the eventual MVP. Rob Gronkowski with a beautiful catch down the middle. What a throw by Brady, setting up Sony Michel. Every time they needed to make a play, they did. Jared Goff, in my opinion, looked just a little too nervous for that stage, which is understandable given how young he is, but that was a different kind of game. It was not very exciting, to be honest. If you like punts, if you like defense, yes, it was exciting. But if you liked drama, you didn't get much of it in this game. What you got, though, was another reminder that New England still knows how to get it done in the big game. And as I tweeted out earlier, I thought the biggest problem that they faced was not getting a number 1 or number 2 seed or a bye. And the Steelers and the Texans both rolled out the red carpet. Steelers just imploded against teams they should have beaten. They could have taken that away from them when they were 7-2-1. A lot of people were talking about a number 2 seed, number 1 seed, and certainly a first-round bye, just like last year. But instead they didn't, and the Houston Texans had an opportunity to do the same to them, and they faltered. New England got the week off. They regrouped. They did what they do in the postseason. They outcoached and outperformed and out-executed people. And they did it against a good San Diego team, and they did it at Kansas City. First half, totally shut them down. There were a lot of points in the second half, but they had already taken the lead, and they did it against the high-powered Los Angeles Rams here tonight, totally shutting down that team in a really good defensive effort. So, there you go. The question is, some people still believe Tom Brady will retire at some point, and it may be after this year, even though he said the other day on the record, 0% chance. I got a different opinion when talking to Jim Nantz earlier about it. He seemed to think there could be a chance. We'll see. Bottom line, though, if he wants to keep playing, New England will go in again as one of the teams that you're going to have to look to try to dethrone. And they have a lot to play for next year. Going for number 7, which would make them the undisputed lead over the Steelers, who are tied with them, of course, with 6. They have a lot going on. So let us know what you think about those games, some of the calls, some of the halftime, whatever you want to talk about. I was disappointed with a lot of what I saw tonight, quite frankly. I'd like to hear what you have to say at 412-575-2600. Also, we're going to talk about, if you want, a bizarre ending in the Waste Management Phoenix Open, if you like golf. And the Penguins, losers last night. They blew a 2-0 lead, lost to Toronto. They'll be home Tuesday against Carolina. And the Penguins find themselves tied for second, still 4 points out of first. Really a logjam in the Metro Division. We'll talk about that. Anything else is fair game. Call us at 412-575-2600. That's the number to get on board. It's the Bordas and Bordas hotline on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, 7 nights a week right here on Pittsburgh CW. The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, putting new roofs on Pittsburgh homes for over 25 years. Call Ireland Contracting at 1-800-NEW-ROOF.